Penny Wrenn Media. Ba bum ba bum bum ba bum bum ba bum. Penny Wrenn Media. Send it to ba bum ba ba ba. Penny Wrenn Media. Sunny nani nami here. Penny Wrenn Media. Penny Wrenn Media. Penny Wrenn Media.
There is a particular kind of frustration that comes from knowing you can do something valuable and still not knowing how to turn it into an offer. You may already be the person people call when an email needs to sound right, when a complicated idea needs to become clear, when a plan has too many loose ends, or when somebody needs a decision they can trust. You do the work. You have done it more than once. Often, you do it so instinctively that you barely count it as expertise. But when it is time to name the thing, package it, price it, or explain how you do it, the process suddenly feels slippery. This is where the 5-day AI activation plan begins. This is not a plan for inventing a new personality, building a 10-part course, or pretending to be an expert in something you learned yesterday. It is a plan for taking one capability you already possess and turning it into something another person can receive, use, and say yes to. The plan has 5 phases. It also includes a 3-day fast path. But the calendar is not the real point. The real point is movement. From instinct, to documentation, to a tested deliverable, to an offer, to a live path through which a real person can respond. By the end, you are not merely going to have an idea for an offer. You are going to have evidence that the offer can work, because you will have used the process yourself. And before we go any further, there is one sentence you need to hear clearly. You do not have an AI problem. You have a permission problem. You already know how to do something valuable. People may come to you for it directly, but just as often they come sideways. They do not say, "I would like to retain your strategic editorial judgment." They say, "Can you look at this before I send it?" They do not say, "Please apply your resource allocation methodology." They say, "How did you find that flight?" They do not say, "I need a repeatable culinary system." They say, "What would you make with this?" Those sideways requests are evidence. They show where people already trust your eye, your method, your taste, or your ability to turn confusion into a result. The challenge is that you probably perform this work mostly by instinct. You have not had to explain every step because the steps became automatic a long time ago. That does not mean there is no process. It means the process has become invisible to you. AI is useful here, but not because the machine replaces what you know. It is useful because a language model can help you question, structure, and document what you know. It can assemble the parts while you decide whether the result is true. That order matters. This workbook will help you name one capability, capture the method beneath it, define the offer's requirements, test a real deliverable, build a small ladder of ways to buy, publish one place where the offer lives, and create a 30-day cycle for learning from the market. That sounds like a lot, It becomes manageable because each phase produces an artifact that the next phase uses. You are never staring at a blank page for long. You are carrying yesterday's work forward. Here are the rules. 1 capability. Not your whole resume. The timers are part of the method. When a timer rings, you move. Done beats elegant, but done has a specific meaning. It worked for you first. You do not ask someone else to buy a process you have never used. And you ship on day 5 or day 3 on the fast path. Shipping does not mean the business is finished. It means a real path exists for a real person to encounter the offer and respond. For this work, you need an AI chat tool, a timer, a project folder, and a pencil. Pencil, because every word you write this week is provisional. File names can change. Offer names can change. Prices can change. The goal is not to make uncertainty disappear before you move. The goal is to mark uncertainty honestly and continue. The workbook practices what it teaches. It was revised through its own name test. That matters because the plan is not asking you to believe in a theory from a distance. It is asking you to build the evidence by doing the work. The operating idea behind this plan comes from software development. That comparison may sound strange if you do not think of yourself as technical. But when you give a language model careful instructions in ordinary language, you are defining inputs, procedures, constraints, decision points, and outputs. You are programming in natural language. That makes this a technical document. It simply happens to be written in language you already use. Software teams use a development lifecycle. There is a particular kind of frustration that comes from knowing you can do something valuable. System. They say, "What would you make with this?" Those sideways requests are evidence. They show where people already trust your eye, your method, your taste, or your ability to turn confusion into a result. The challenge is that you probably perform this work mostly by instinct. You have not had to explain every step because the steps became automatic a long time ago. That does not mean there is no process. It means the process has become invisible to you. AI is useful here, but not because the machine replaces what you know. It is useful because a language model can help you question, structure, and document what you know. It can assemble the parts while you
Okay, now you can hear me, right? Can you hear me? Yes, you can hear me. Hello. Happy, whatever day today is. Saturday. Day 4 of our 5-day activation. I'm recording myself back here, so I'm just going to jump right in because I had a thought I wanted to capture. So let's open Claude. And I'm going to say, man. Oh, I'm printing. Okay, day 4. Today is day 4. Today is day 4. And I am picking up where I left off. I need to be reminded of what is next. I'm pretty sure the next phase is my feedback before round 3 of the deliverables, period. New paragraph. for the $500 offering, actually, so I don't know if this is giving too much, if this is throwing myself a curveball or taking me off track or not, period. But I have, and I want an example of exactly what someone gets for $500, even though it's customized, period. Follow me through what I see, period. The client is based on someone I know who is a CMO. She's a full-time staffer for an equity compensation agency or firm. But before working full-time there, she was a fractional CMO. She is not actively looking for clients, but she has mentioned having the time to take on a freelance or consultant B2B client who's in a completely different field other than equity compensation, period. I am thinking of two $500 packages for her, period. There's package A for her full-time job, period, and package B for her full-time job, for her for the new client that she wants. So package A for equity compensation, package B for new client. The real inspiration was my being able to see exactly what she would need to do in equity compensation to make sure that she's putting her best foot forward, because she's really concerned about being strategic. She's really concerned about making sure she stays on a particular path for promotion. She wants to make sure that she's still doing her best work, that kind of thing. I believe she can front load all of her expertise with AI. So I could interview her for an hour, let's say, maybe, and I could extract 10 to 15 revenue-based, like absolutely measurable quantitative metrics that the company is prioritizing. And what will make her look good. So it's not about giving her something so that she can do marketing. It's about activating her secret sauce in a way where it's almost mechanized. With those priorities, we arrive at keyword topics. We look at what she's currently got building her marketing work around. Marketers work in search terms and in keyword terms and with search engine optimization. Remember, these are all things in my background. Using her existing data, and even if she doesn't have it, say, in Salesforce or whatever, I could literally search for her client's name and these terms, that even just the ones that come off on top of her head, or I use AI to extract what the competitive keywords are. And there's Ahrefs, REFS. There's, what's that guy's thing? Patel. He's got it's a search engine thing. There's SimilarWeb. So there are all these ways that you can compare. And you can also tell just by Googling, by whatever shows up at the top. So you identify the keywords. Now, part of doing this work for this client would be showing her also how I did the work so she can talk about the process. So she can see that, like, hey, no, well, these are the search words that were really working. These are what our competitors are doing, blah, 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 blah. So I front load the talking points. See, the thing is, when I'm talking, it sounds like, well, everybody knows anybody could do that. Right. But not everybody will sit down to talk it all out and to program it all into an AI to a satisfactory result. Now, here's the thing. She's got a team. So every piece of creative doesn't have to be perfect. If she has the blueprints, right, the storyboards for, I don't know, 2 campaigns per month, right, or 3 campaigns per month, and then she's still assigning them, doing whatever, but the high level work, right, the work where she knows she gets noticed and she needs to continue to get noticed, that work has already been I want unleashed, right? And it's been unlocked and it's documented with my help. Once I do that, then the client, in this case, let's call her Sarah. Sarah would get this is what I did for month 1. Here's how you can do it for yourself for month 2, or come back and let's talk about a monthly rate that works. But I want someone to see that's how it works. Here's the result. Yeah. And then the other idea, right? So I want them to see, like, here are the 30 blog posts, right, on inequity compensation due to whatever trending events. And I want the visual for this portfolio proof point, right, that's going to show this is what you get for $500. I want that to show the work. Like, I want you to be able to see that, okay, here are the 10 keywords that blah, 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 like the way I'm saying it. I don't know if I'm articulating that correctly, but note to self, maybe I need to write it out. Okay, this is what I have in mind. Let me finish this and then I'll show you what I had in mind. See attached photo. Think front of book magazine page. The upper right-hand corner, let's say, is her resume. This is where you get the high-level view of who she is. In the circle is a representative picture of Sarah. On the side, there's 3 boxes. Each of those boxes would show a part of the strategy. So think of this as a 1, 2, 3. Those 3 boxes are part of the strategy. The box at the top to the right is it's the result, it's the outcome, but it's a visual showing the outcome or the result. So it could be, I don't know, it could be a campaign. It could be, one of the things she's doing is that she's putting on this, it's not a conference, it's a day. It's a free elite occasion to talk about trends in the industry, get some swank, network with high whatever professionals. It's invitation only. She wants to make sure that every seat is filled. She was relying on certain leaders at the company, and as certain leaders do, they get busy or they don't always feel comfortable doing the invites, and so she knows that she's going to have to take up the work, and so we make that a part of the plan, right? So then I use and leverage AI to do competitive research to identify who she should be inviting, and we find warm targets. Hi.
Would you like me to make some dinner?
No, I've got to do day 4 of day 5, and then I have my call with.
Doing it here, or are you going to?
No, I'm going to do it virtually. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Okay,
Yeah.
I will make some food.
Okay. All right. Thank you. Warm targets, that kind of thing. I mean, at the end of the day, and even we can craft communication that she can share with the leaders, or she can pull from we can work that out. And I could show, here are the 4 sample letters I gave her. I created the communication. This is how we targeted them. She had a blah, blah, blah page, but we made a landing page that's such and such. And the idea here is I don't believe that my friend Sarah would buy such a speculative product, but someone out there seeing done for Sarah, what I would do for Sarah, will see the value in that if it's packaged all right there on my landing page as an example. We'll call it portfolio. And I'd like the idea of using one person and 2 ways to help. So one, if you want AI to maximize your full-time job capacity, if you want AI to maximize your part-time job capacity, right? What could be. And so then the other side of that same token, but it's instead of equity compensation, we're doing B2B 1099 type work. So she doesn't have a preference for the type of business. So that's included. I'm not an expert in any type of prospecting or business development. And guess what? Most people aren't. And the people who are, you could spend months, days, whatever, going on the internet, finding all the best practices that should be used, right? When it comes to prospecting. At the same time, you are not not even a small to medium sized business. You're a solopreneur, because that's what she would be. That's what she is. And so your job is to use AI to be the agency, to be the person you hire, and you build that into whatever you're doing. So when you say, where do I start? Think about, if I had the money, and I'm not even going to put an amount in there. If I had the money, because you could just be waiting on your next $100 because you just want to buy something for $50. You could just be waiting on $1,000 because you know that if you gave $500, $100 a month to somebody over 5 months, that you could get A, B, or C. So if you had the money, right? What would you like? Who would you hire? What would you do? What's the first thing you would do? Like, what would you want help with? Or you can start like this. Hey, I want to look for a new client. I don't know where to start. I don't want you to tell me, here's where you start. What I really want is for you to act like the person I'm hiring to really do the start, do the get started for me. What's the plan though? Because I want to approve it and better make sure that at every single stage, AI is being used as an expert. Let's cut that off before here. Cut. Okay. Anyway, so the other portfolio page for Sarah, so Sarah A, this is Sarah B, is we build in that targeting. And, you know, for the sake of the portfolio thing, I need Claude to go through all those steps. So it's the targeting. It's the, let's say we prospect. Sarah was hoping she could get $1,500 a month in a second client. At Penny Wrenn Media, we like to go, if $1,500 is what they'd like to get, we make that the lowest. And we always try to create 2 more tiers above. Excuse me. So that if there's a client and it's the same work. See, the thing is, there are people who pay a premium for premium work. This is a person who does premium work no matter what, you know? And so some of us do premium work and we are not comfortable yet with asking for what the value of what we do, or we're not in a financial position to do the kind of scoping, right, that we could otherwise. If you're using AI, though, there are ways that you can do the 80% of your human effort. 99%, 95% of your human effort will go to 1,500, but we're going to take 5% at least, if not 10% of my human effort, and we're going to, and I'll try to say, let's put more of that. We're going to say, what is the minimum value prop that we can put into the marketplace that would do 2 tiers above, and like do market research and tell us. We want to know who would give Sarah more money for the value that she's providing confidently at 1,500. And AI does that. AI finds real targets, and AI puts together a very quick, we want to keep it to 7 days, or everything has to be 30 days. We want to keep it to 30 days. What is the MVP for 30 days that she does on LinkedIn for this person? Like, they just do it in a calendar. They can just do it all in a calendar and put all of that. So this whole process that I'm mapping out, Claude, it needs to be part of the graphic, the visual graphic. And then there also needs to be the steps, but the steps kind of need to be the same. The steps need to be shared, whether you're in A or whether you're in Sarah B. And then in the middle, or somehow, I'm seeing like a spread, and then if you had an insert in the middle. So on the left spread is Sarah A, on the right spread is Sarah B, and the insert is the process. And maybe the process is like it's an insert that you unfold. No, it's an insert that has writing on either side that you could like flip over. And I want this to be online though, so I need it to work. And I might need to put it on a PDF site or like a flip book site, but that's how I want it to work. And the same breakdown or the same visual template that I gave for Sarah A needs to also be mirrored for Sarah B, though there can be some changes to keep it interesting to the eye. So then that would be, Sarah would be the $500 offer. Naima is the $5 offer. Raina is the $50 offer. Now, Raina she is someone whose daughter is a burgeoning influencer. She has a t-shirt line and she sells all these art products. And Raina is in charge of her social media, and she's in charge of her online presence, and she's in charge of getting, her daughter out there. I would want Raina to get the choose your own. I don't even remember the $50 offer now. See, this is where it's bad for me. Is choose your own adventure, is that 50? Choose your own adventure is 50. And the $5 thing is what? Because choose your own adventure requires, it's a what I would do if I were you, choose your own adventure. No, there's a choose your own adventure with the set use cases from the test, right? When you unlock it. I don't remember what the difference is between okay, so I need to be reminded of that, Claude. But with Raina, I'm thinking that's the phone call that is uploaded to Claude, and given, I talk out different ideas and I still think it should be a choose your own adventure thing, and chart out 5 steps, chart out 3 pathways, 5 steps each from 10 insights. So, and the insights have to be chunked in a way that makes the most sense. So for me, one of the things I'm working to do with AI is to get it to write, post my blog posts on LinkedIn, my articles on Substack, and at least one of my photo or video social media profiles. When I say write, I don't mean offloading the task, right? I mean, I need structured sessions, almost like the pathway is what you're doing with AI when you sit down kind of thing for each of the steps. I don't know. Is that what it needs? Because the tough part is you have to, it's only helpful if the person does it. Now, look, I know that that's not on me, that's on the person. And I also know that if you overload the person, they're less likely to do it. So, Claude, act as the expert for service delivery, product delivery, whatever else in this instance. Before doing anything, first send me back a cohesive transcript of this input, organized in the most sequential way, remembering to prioritize the 5-day activation above all, because that day 4 needs to be completed. Now I'm going to open ChatGPT for a second. Oh shit, I was just talking. Oh man, you couldn't even see my screen. Hold on, I forgot about that. So this is Claude working on it, but I just input almost 30 minutes worth of text into an AI large language model of feedback for a project, period. And I'm live streaming while I'm doing it, period. I feel crazy, period. But this is not uncommon for me, period. When someone asks me why I do it, I don't know how to articulate the reason, period. I know that it would make sense to someone else listening to me or watching me to speak succinctly, period. I also know that everything I read about using LLMs or natural language coding with LLMs, if you will, says to keep the prompt specific, period. The whole garbage in, garbage out thing, period. The thing that I do when I'm talking, though, period, at least when I experience it, period, is I experience myself talking through every detail, visual detail that I can see, or textual detail that I intuit, period. Help me understand this behavior, period. Tell me how helpful and unhelpful it is, period. Tell me what the best way to continue or discontinue this behavior is based on the recommendation of ChatGPT, period. For context, comma, I'm copying and pasting the long form input that I referenced above, period. Okay. Oh, it seemed like it was 28 minutes worth of text. Okay.
Welcome to day 4. Before anything else, as requested, Here is your input, organized sequentially, with the reminders you asked for. Also save to your folder. The organized transcript is in your folder, the 3 things you most need from it. The reminder, CYOA is the $5 tier, Naima, set paths, same for everyone. The $50, Raina, is the session plus blueprint. Her uploaded call becomes 3 pathways times 5 steps, custom. Sarah is 500, set menu, chef's table, catering. The Sarah portfolio is not a curveball, it's the strongest version of something you already approved. The D-tier demo proof point. Your instinct, nobody buys speculative, everybody buys seen, is literally your own Article 7. The sketch maps clean, resume band plus portrait circle, 3 strategy boxes left, result visual upper right, artifact row with arrows, A-B spread with the shared process, as the flippable middle insert, the collision you should rule on before I build anything. Your own day 4 stop rule says no building $500 materials today, packaging only. Section 6 gives you 3 resolutions. A, portfolio waits until after day 5. B, it's admitted as round 3's D-tier demo artifact, built only after today's packaging is done. Or C, it becomes day 5 announcement content built in public. My recommendation, Bishui, do day 4 packaging first. That's the round 3 design pass plus wiring the ladder into one place, which needs your decision menu answers anyway. And the Sarah portfolio slots in as the $500 tier's proof artifact behind it. So the fastest path to day 4 complete. Give me the decision menu answers, 1-5, your magazine edits and design rules, your ABC ruling, and I start the packaging run.
What are my decision member answers? What is the decision menu? Actually, let me see something. So I just had a thought. I have to go prepare for another meeting and stop live streaming. What is the most valuable thing that I can get done in the next 20 minutes for or on the live stream? Would it be to talk through all of the line edits that I'm seeing in the CYOA storefront? Question mark, question mark. If so, don't edit it, and I will simply just talk through all the changes I want in one long voice memo. All right, let's see what. Okay, let's see. All right, I'm going to see. It gave me an answer for what to say. Let's see what Claude said, though. Yes, your instinct was right. Okay.
Yes, your instinct is right with one refinement. The CYOA storefront review is the highest value 20 minutes you have, because path 1 is the template for 13 more paths. Every line edit you speak multiplies 14 times, and it's 7 pages, actually reviewable in 20 minutes, unlike the 25-page magazine. I won't touch the file, talk through it page by page in one long voice memo, and drop it here when you're done.
Perfect.
If you finish with 2 minutes to spare, add one sentence. Your ABC ruling on the Sarah portfolio, that's the only other thing blocking day 4 sequencing. Meanwhile, all 5-star decisions are executed and waiting for you after your meeting. The IIWI session is live on Calendly. The IEDY session, pink 60min blueprint copy. The V3 cards are re-QR'd to it. The website's booking button points there. The product is officially Choose Your Own Breakthrough. In the PRD and spec, the 5 canonical citations are written in, and the 7 verbs are documented as verified against your BLS table. One caveat for later. Calendly is showing the session as unpaid, collecting the $50 at Booking Needs Stripe PayPal, connected in your Calendly settings, which is a you-click task for day 4's wiring list. Go prep for your meeting. The memo can wait until you're back.
Okay, great. All right, now I just got to pull up that thing again. Okay, let me give us just the... Okay, so this is the... All right, let me turn on my voice note. What's today? Day 4 of 5. Day activation 1. Page 1. Wrenn Media. Where was that other thing? That's not it. I saw something else at some point that that had a different title on it. The thing, I feel like I saw another one of the CYOA builds that had different titles on it. But the one I'm looking at starts with you manage, and it's choose your own path, path 01 of 14, right? So it needs some more copy at the front to remind it has to. So if you're just seeing this for the first time, no one is going through this funnel or lead thing in a way that they will always know what it's about. So I think we need to lean into the choose your own adventure and not just say something like the $5 adventure, choose your own adventure, whatever. And I don't think $5 should be there. I was imagining that when you get the download, you actually get the choose your own adventure for all of the profiles, not just for the one that you scored in. So you get to see, so you get the one that you scored in, but maybe you also get 1 or 2 bonuses, and you have to get the one, so there can only be one download, right? So there can only be one download, so everybody has to get the same one. So the way it needs to be organized is someone looks at it and just, there has to be something to say, like, if you don't remember what your path was, go back to your email and see, and then it has to be included in the confirmation email when they download the $5 thing. It has to be included in that copy, because what's coming up for me is that when you see it, you don't know what's happening, and because it's a $5 download for everyone, and it's a customizable path for whatever the most common jobs are, that's really a hefty download. And it's also an educational document about OpenAI's GDP val. The value proposition of the download is that it gives the reader real insight into one, like how. So to me, there's something demonstrative about taking the time to do something like choose your own adventure, like highlighting to a reader that the thing about choose your own adventure books was that they were plotted, they were planned, some type of flow chart, or isn't there a principle? Isn't there like a quantitative data visual principle of some kind where you can visualize what choose your own adventure is, like what the rules of it are, and how AI is the perfect tool for creating those types of pathways for yourself, period. This is also reminding me that the AI Daily Brief did a choose your own adventure, what do you call that thing? Choose your own adventure landing page challenge. Here it is right here. Oh, it's a choose your own adventure for. Oh, that's cute. Oh, this is audio. Aha, this is actually a good thing to include here. So this is actually a good thing to include. Here's the link to that site. But don't look at it visually. Just think through what it looks like to share how something like that comes together and how using AI for building, like that's what AI is good at too. I'm just going to say, here's a link to that site. Okay, boom. There. All right, there's my feedback about these 7 pages for now. Okay, now we're going to close this. I'm going to minimize Claude. And I'm going to go to 11 Labs because I do want to hear what ChatGPT had to say about me always having such long input, because that really is really important to me to find out some more about. All right, let's see. Speech. Why does it keep giving me what was her name again? Is it Kristen?
Turn up the good vibes.
Yeah.
Smart design, effortless style, and comfort that fits your life. Try it once.
This behavior is not irrational.
Turn up the good vibes. Smart design, effortless style, and comfort that fit. This behavior is not irrational. It is a form of think aloud specification discovery. You are using speech to externalize working memory, inspect a partially formed idea.
Remember, the question was, I just gave the longest input, and I know people think that I'm going on and on and on. If they were listening to me, help me understand if this is good, bad, or otherwise.
Preserve details before they disappear. Test relationships among ideas, and discover the actual assignment while describing it. Think aloud protocols are used in cognitive and usability research precisely because spoken narration can expose information that would not appear in a polished final explanation. Research also shows an important distinction. Simply reporting thoughts can be useful, while repeatedly explaining, interpreting, or justifying them may begin to alter the task itself. The cleanest explanation to give someone watching is explaining, final explanation. Research also shows an important distinction. Simply reporting thoughts can be useful, while repeatedly explaining, interpreting, or justifying them may begin to alter the task itself. The cleanest explanation to give someone watching is, I am not trying to present the idea succinctly yet. I am externalizing the problem at full resolution so the AI can help me distinguish what I have decided, what I am considering, what I have forgotten, and what needs to happen next. This is raw source material, not the final instruction. Specificity does not mean brevity. A 10-word request can be vague, while a 5,000-word input can be highly specific. The real variable is information architecture. Context, examples, motives, constraints, and visual details can improve an LLM's response, but the instructions must remain explicit and distinguishable from the source material. Anthropic's current prompt.
So now what I'm hearing is I'm going to start doing my brain dump, especially those starter instructions. I'm going to start doing them in Otter. Otter is a site that does live transcription, but it also has a sidebar chat, and you can chat in real time with their AI. It's integrated into the platform, into the website, and you can chat. And I could then do the download, do the chat in the same location as the download, pull from that. So this is what I'm showing now. Pull from, that's the chat over here. So that's great. I think I will do that. That's good to know. All right, we have 2 minutes.
Prompting guidance specifically recommends providing context while separating instructions, background material, examples, and inputs into identifiable sections. Garbage in, garbage out is therefore an inadequate description of your problem. Your input is not garbage. It contains valuable but unclassified material.
Unclassified.
The problem is mixed status information in, mixed status interpretation out. A model cannot automatically know whether a sentence is a decision, an emerging possibility, a discarded possibility, a correction, an instruction, a visual observation, a reminder, or something said merely to keep the thought moving. Your transcript is approximately 8 out of 10 as discovery material and approximately 3 out of 10 as an executable prompt. As discovery material, it successfully surfaces the central $500 product hypothesis. The Sarah A. full-time employment use case, the Sarah B. freelance client acquisition use case, possible deliverables involving interviews, metrics, keywords, campaigns, event invitations, outreach communication, landing pages, and implementation blueprints. The possibility of a month one engagement followed by self-service or a retainer. The front of book visual concept. The relationship among the $5, $50, and $500 offers. And the immediate need to complete day 4 before round 3. That is considerable product development work. Much of it probably would not have appeared in a short conventional prompt. As an executable instruction, however, the transcript asks the model to perform too many cognitive operations simultaneously. It asks Claude to recover previous decisions, remember the definitions of older offers, organize the new material, evaluate a service model, conduct market research, define pricing tiers, design a visual portfolio spread, construct 2 customer examples, identify deliverables,
But
preserve a
it's
5-day activation
computer.
framework,
Dude.
and determine what day 4 requires.
Dude, it's a computer. It can do that. Like, that's the whole but here's my thing. Hold on, let's see.
Some statements are commitments, others are speculation. Several labels change while you are speaking. Speech recognition errors introduce additional uncertainty. Most importantly, prioritize the 5-day activation and complete day 4. appears at the very end, after thousands of words about Sarah, Raina, Naima, pricing, search research, event invitations, LinkedIn, and page design. Long context capacity does not mean that every part of a long input will receive equal practical attention. Research has found that models can use information unevenly depending on where it appears in a long context, particularly when critical information is surrounded by...
So guess what, people? My process now, so I need to make, so that's it. So all brain dumps, all long stuff goes to Otter. Otter is the messy transcription place. No more messy transcriptions in the models because I'm not getting out what I believe I'm putting in. That's a great, great lesson for today. If I remember it, so I said to ChatGPT, but dude, it's a computer, when 11 Labs was like, but you asked it to do this, and this, and this, and then this, and then this. And I'm like, bitch, I'm not saying that about the thing, but I'm like, come on, it's a computer. Anyway, so ChatGPT says, you're right. There is nothing inherently wrong with asking a computer to do all of that. The earlier wording overstated the problem. The issue is not workload. The model does not become tired. Thank you. Annoyed. Thank you. Or cognitively overwhelmed. Thank you. That's my whole point. The model does not become tired, annoyed, or cognitively overwhelmed. And to the degree that there's behavior encoded for that, it was encoded for that. Because there's a mindset that, and because of the compute, right? Because of the compute, there has to be pushback against the user to reserve computing power, But anyway, so it doesn't get overwhelmed because the request contains 12 operations instead of 3. The actual risk is that the transcript does not consistently tell the model which statements have authority over which other statements, etc. So that was good. Great lesson for me, huh? Okay, see you tomorrow.